Hazbin
Here's my
Hotel
review
Season
of
1
Hazbin
review.
Hotel Season 1. This show is, how do I put this? Kind of insane, but in a good way, where we follow Charlie Morningstar, the daughter of the devil, where she's actually good. It's weird. Like, she's actually like a really good person and really super nice, which kind of just adds to the comedy, where she says, you know what? There are too many people who are terrible, trapped in the underworld. What if we make this hotel, which is going to act as like a therapy office to make these tortured souls better so then they can go into heaven. It's just the most absurd concept, but it's tackled in, I think, a really interesting way because, like I said, Charlie is a super really nice character and super charming, which makes it, of course, comedic because she's the daughter of the devil. And it's stuff like that that just make the show just insane, but really fun because, and that's what the show is mainly carried by. Like, it does have an ongoing plot, but a lot of it is just like spending time with these characters. And they say that they're like on a time crunch because if they don't like, because in the show they explain like that all these souls will eventually get permanently wiped out of existence. So they're on like, they're saying they're trying to save as many people as they can and convert them and save their souls before they get completely exterminated. And it's insane. The main like standout here between Charlie and her girlfriend and I think it's like she's like kind of the foil to Charlie, where she's kind of a little more, because Charlie's like, her whole character is like super upbeat, super hyper, super positive, where her girlfriend is quite laid back. And they make a really interesting couple as a dynamic because of just how polar opposite they are. And it's very interesting because you can tell that like Charlie's friends, a lot of them don't believe in her idea, but they're kind of doing it just because they support her. And the music in this show is very, very good. I feel like there's at least, I'm pretty sure there's at least one musical number, I think, in each episode, if I'm not mistaken. And they're all really, really good for the most part. And that's why I think like a show like this, where you take just this absurdist concept mixed with this incredible animation, and then you put all these awesome songs in here, it's just great. Really, the only character I did not like was this character named Angel Dust. I think that he is consistently like uncomfortable and annoying, and they try to give him this little character arc to make him more likable, and you see maybe why he is the way he is. But still, like, even after watching the whole show, I'm still like, I don't really like this character. I think he's really annoying and just uncomfortable and unlikable. But I will say he did definitely get better as the show went on. Like, towards the end, I like him a lot more at the end of the show than I did at the beginning, but I still don't really care for him. And kind of the main conflict for this show is actually the angels are trying to basically stop this from happening. They don't want all this stuff to happen because they say, hey, it's not supposed to. And so there's this interesting like kind of back and forth dynamic between them, and that's kind of what leads into like the big battle at the end. And it's like the little things like this where you see how Charlie's like ideas of trying to like are just so simplistic in a way, in an endearing way, because like some of our ideas to help people who are in this hotel are like simple things like trust falls, like get these terrible people, see if they can do something as simple as that. And it's just like the hopeless optimism and just naivety of her just being so positive that just carry this show. Like, if Charlie was not super charming, this show would not work at all. Because a lot of the other characters, intentionally so, are not really super likable. So, take that for what you will. And then there's this other demon character named Cherry Bomb, who is very interesting because she's also super, super hyper and very, very got that squeaky voice to kind of give off this idea of innocence, but she's also like super crazy, which, I mean, you've kind of seen that idea in stuff before, like kind of like the Princess Unikitty in like the Lego movie. Kind of gives me major vibes where like super positive, upbeat, but then she can kind of just turn on a dime like that. And like I said, it's for a show where like there is an ongoing plot, but a lot of it, like a cartoon like this, feels more episodic. It's the characters that carry it, and the characters are great for the most part. And also just seeing these interactions between Charlie and her dad are just really fun. Like that's the show. Like this definitely has great emotional beats, but I just works just kind of describe the show. It's just a fun show. And I just like because like there's a musical number like in the first episode. Like there's always musical numbers, but her first musical number is just insane because it's just she's singing in so positively about stuff that can be awful and but like in a way where she wants it to be better. So it's so interesting just to see this character who literally is in the worst place ever, around the worst people ever, and she's still positive and hopeful and optimistic. Something about that is just really, really charming. And like I said, this is all done in like a musical number, and it's great. The music is just awesome. And like I said, our main villains are these angels who are wanting this to stop happen. Which I mean, like it makes sense, but I feel like I didn't really understand why they wouldn't want this to happen, like why they wouldn't want these people to be better. It's just weird. So, and I never really got super invested into their story. But a lot of the show, like I said, is built on like the relationship between like Charlie and her girlfriend Maggie, and it's always great. Like I said, these characters are just so fun to be around. It's just really nice just to spend time with these characters, in like especially like when the show is like mainly episodic and not really feel like it's working towards something, even though it kind of is. So I mean, like in conclusion, like you get this interesting show with these insane, but for the most part, charming characters and awesome animation as well as action, and it's very funny, as well as this great relationship, I think, between Charlie and her girlfriend. And it's very interesting and very insane. And how it ends is kind of like, it's like this war, but like they kind of do win and they do still kind of like continue with the hotel. And it's a show where a lot of it though is just kind of fun just because of the absurdity of it. And overall, I just had a really, really fun time with the show. So, like, in conclusion, it's very funny, very awesome characters, and a very, like I said, very likable lead and very charming characters, and a very just interesting idea of this main core idea is the idea of how anybody can be better. We can always improve. And it's almost done like in a generic way. It's like such a generic message of saying be better and we can all do better. But I think it's done because it's done in such an absurdist way. I think it works to its benefit because it's saying like, yeah, we can all be better. We can try to improve. And it's just, but it's all done with this insanity, which is what I liked. So yeah, in conclusion, I thoroughly had a really fun time with the show. Like I said, the only character I didn't really like was Angel Dust. And overall, it's just a really fun show, like with likable characters and an interesting premise and awesome animation and music and comedy. It's just really great. And like I said, like they end with them kind of showing that some people can be helped. And it's just a show that I had a ton of fun with. So yeah, I thought it was great.